This is Euronews Now. I'm Helena Humphrey, and on Friday, the 9th of September 2022, this is special coverage of the news that Britain's Queen Elizabeth II has died at the age of 96, and King Charles III is now monarch. King Charles today is expected to travel down to London from Balmoral Castle in Scotland, where Buckingham Palace says that the Queen passed away peacefully. Later today, in one of his first acts as monarch, King Charles is expected to deliver a televised address. Welcome to the programme, and thanks for being with us on this day of history. Well, the UK and the world is now coming to terms with the news that Queen Elizabeth II has passed away at the age of 96, the longest-serving monarch in British history after 70 years on the throne. Well, thousands have been gathering outside of her main residence, Buckingham Palace, in central London to pay their respects as the nation officially begins a period of mourning. And outside of Buckingham Palace is our international correspondent, Annalise Borges, and we can cross over to her now. Annalise, great to have you with us. Just give us a sense of the atmosphere there right now.
Well, Helena, Buckingham Palace has become the focus of grief and mourning for this country. People have been gathering here, have been coming here. Thousands of people have been coming here to pay their respects to Queen Elizabeth II, who died at the age of 96 on Thursday. And they have been flocking here ever since. Many people here have been coming from different parts of London or different parts of the UK and even of the world. I met people from Australia, New Zealand, Chile, and even Brazil, all saying that she was this universal figure, that she was part of their lives, no matter where they were from, that she was this omnipresent figure in their lives. Elizabeth II, who was 25 when she came to the throne and delivered some 70 years of service, during which people here told me she led this country, but also inspired this country and at times reunited it. So many people here saying that she leaves behind a big void, a void that will take some time to be filled. Helena?
Do we have yet a clearer sense of how events will now unfold today and in the coming days as well?
Yes, absolutely. Well, this country has now entered a period of national mourning, a period that is set to last for some 12 days or so, or at least until the funeral is held. A state funeral is scheduled initially for the 18th of September. We also understand that, of course, with Queen Elizabeth's death, her son Charles becomes king, and we understand that he is going to be coming to London from Balmoral later today with Queen Consort Camilla. They will return to the British capital to hold his first audience with Prime Minister Liz Truss later today.
And of course, Annalise, stating the obvious here, but this is huge news right around the globe. So just give us a sense of the international reaction.
Indeed, tributes have been pouring in from all over the world, really. U.S. President Joe Biden said that the Queen, who actually met 14 American presidents, was a stateswoman of unmatched dignity. France's President Emmanuel Macron released a statement saying that Queen Elizabeth embodied the British nation's continuity and unity for the past 70 years and that she was a friend of France. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky also issuing his statement, calling this an irreparable loss. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi saying that he was pained by the news. So really tributes coming in from all over the world. And quite interesting, some of the words are echoed here by people who have been coming to spend a few moments or to at least leave some flowers for the Queen, saying that, of course, her death marks the end of an era, the end of a very important and momentous chapter in Britain's history, the longest reign in this country's history, and leaves a certain feeling of uncertainty in the air for this country's future going forward.
Presidents, prime ministers, monarchs and world leaders right the way across the globe have been paying tribute to Queen Elizabeth II. some sharing personal memories of her kindness and humour, while others noting how she was a dutiful constant during global turbulence. And the tributes that we're seeing across the world can be reflected in newspaper headlines. The most heartfelt, of course, will be in the United Kingdom. The Guardian newspaper leading its coverage on Friday with a photo of Queen Elizabeth during her coronation and crowning in June 1952. We also had a tribute from the Daily Mail newspaper, which simply said that our hearts are broken, echoing the feeling of many people in the United Kingdom. The front page of the Telegraph newspaper on Friday decided to quote Queen Elizabeth directly, saying that grief is the price we pay for love. And in a fitting tribute from the Mirror, it simply reads two words on its front page: thank you. But of course, Queen Elizabeth was not just the head of state of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. She was also the head of state of 14 other independent sovereign states, as well as a total of 53 Commonwealth nations. And across the Commonwealth, we're also seeing similar headlines paying tribute following the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Many front pages, for example, in Australia, such as this one, the Herald Sun in Melbourne, using one simple word on their front page: irreplaceable. There were also a number of tributes here in Europe where the Queen was adored, most notably from the French President Emmanuel Macron, who posted a very heartfelt message on the Élysée Palace website. French newspapers also reflecting the tributes that were paid to Queen Elizabeth, a queen who was fluent in French and made 6 state visits to France, visiting the country more than any other European state. The front page of the Parisian newspaper reads, "Nous l'avons tant aimée," we loved her so much. There were also, of course, tributes from other European nations with their own royal families. The Queen was a distant cousin of both the Dutch and the Danish royal families. In Sweden, however, the front page of a newspaper there was dedicated to an image of Queen Elizabeth during her Platinum Jubilee celebrations earlier this year in June. And the newspapers in Germany have perhaps summed up exactly how the world, and particularly how Europe, is feeling following the death of Queen Elizabeth. The front page of Der Spiegel reads, "The Last Majesty." And perhaps summing up exactly what the world feels at this moment was Die Bild, another German newspaper. Their front page simply reads, "Die Welt weint die Queen." The world weeps for the Queen.
As her children arrived at Balmoral Castle to be by the Queen's bedside, the nation waited, preparing for the worst, praying for the best. Crowds gathered outside Buckingham Palace, almost in disbelief. As tradition dictates, the palace placed a notice outside the gates, announcing the Queen's death. Flags were lowered to half-mast.
I suppose we felt this day would come one day, and you just wouldn't believe it. I was here, standing here with my children. Yeah, strange. I've never met the Queen. I was here in June for the Jubilee, I think it was in June, and it was a wonderful occasion, so I felt I really ought to come.
Our whole lifetime has been in the Queen's power, you know, so we just can't believe what's happened. I don't think we expected it at all, and especially with our, having Liz Truss yesterday, and, you know, having an appointment with all of the different people. Just didn't think she was poorly like that. And we feel really, really upset.
I think it's a real time of transition. Not only have we had a new Prime Minister 2 days ago, but also a new monarch today. And I think it's a real time of transition for the nation.
Queen Elizabeth II, an icon of the 20th and 21st centuries, Britain's longest-serving monarch.
She's remained the constant at the heart and the head of the UK establishment and of Britain's way of life. In a country which can appear bitterly divided at times, she remained immensely popular as a uniting force, a reliable source of comfort in troubled times, and a queen who could make concord from discord.
The world is going to be different. The Commonwealth is going to be different. The English-speaking world is going to be radically different because her guiding hands, almost every head of government, once they get into office, want to come and see the Queen for a specific reason, because she has outlasted everyone. 15 different prime ministers.
A long reign marked by a strong sense of duty, a determination to dedicate her life to her throne and her people. That's unlikely to ever be matched. Luke Hanrahan, Euronews, London.
We're going to take a short break now, but do stay with us if you can.